Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Daniel Pineda.
Rich Masabny.
And here we are with another show somewhere around the middle of September, the first of the Burr months, 2011. We hope you had a safe and commemorative 9/11 weekend. News and Community Bulletin Board coming your way. Nort Beckerman in his Brain Healthy Minute. Community Bulletin Board, CBB, News for Seniors, Rich in his reviews.
It's a good month for oysters.
A good month, it is, right.
September, October,
with the
November,
R's
December, right.
And Pia Sommery is here with her guest, Bob Schaff, ceremonial organist over at Fort Myer for about 40 years or something like that, just recently retired. So that's our little show. And before we go, here's a reminder from my co-anchor here.
Yes, Craig. Arlington Weekly News is available at www.youtube.com/ArlingtonWeeklyNews1. So you can check this out on YouTube.
We're on the YouTube.
Yep.
For you. All right. Here we go with the first of our news stories. Well, the superintendent of Arlington Public Schools, Dr. Pat Murphy, has started a new initiative to focus on energy and environmental conservation. It's called the Superintendent's Advisory Committee on Sustainability. The group will meet monthly to provide recommendations to the superintendent for achieving sustainability objectives. For additional information and to participate, you can go to apsva.us and they'll give you more information right there on that website. All right. Dan?
The Virginia Department of Rail and Public Transportation, DRPT, and their transportation partners from across the Commonwealth will celebrate the 4th annual statewide Tri-Transit Week. During that time, Virginians are asked to try transit at least once to get where they have to go. This year, it will run from September the 19th to the 23rd. Visit arlingtontransit.com for more information. Very important, correct? So
all right.
You have to walk at least one time.
At least once.
Yeah.
All right, some information now from our CBB file on Saturday, September 17th. There will be 3 events at the Central Library. At 10:30 a.m. there will be a tech class on internet security. And at 11:15 a.m. there'll be a class on Arabic conversation. And again at 11:30, the discussion group, Saturday Stock Talks, will meet. There will be 2 events at the Central Library. All right, Daniel, on Monday, September 19 at 10 in the morning, it's the Arlington Reunion History Program, Queen City, down the road before the Pentagon. This film is about an historic African-American community that was displaced by the construction of the Pentagon. And at 2 p.m., there'll be a tech class called Computer Fundamentals, Part 2. And then on Tuesday, September 20th at 6:30 p.m., the Shirlington Branch Library will screen the film, If I Want to Whistle, I Whistle. At 7 p.m., the Central Branch Library will have a Spanish language book group. All right, Conversando sobre libros, followed by a tech class on Facebook at 7 p.m. And then on Wednesday, we're having a little teleprompter problem this evening, so bear with us. On Wednesday, September 21st at 10 in the morning, the Central Library will have a tech class on Microsoft Word 2010, and also at the Central Library at 1 p.m. you can visit the Digital Bookmobile. Learn more about it at digitalbookmobile.com. And at 1 p.m. it's the AARP Work Search. You can get details about this event at arpworksearch.org. At 2 p.m. the tech class will be online genealogy, and at 5:30 p.m. there's a nonprofit networking event. Registration is required for these events. Visit the Arlington Public Library's website for details and then look under the full events calendar. At 6:30 p.m. the Westover Branch Library will screen the film All the King's Men, starring Sean Penn and Jude Law. That was released in '06. So this film is PG-13. And then at 7 p.m., the Shirlington Branch Library will host an event for Richard E. Rubenstein, the author of Reasons to Kill: Why Americans Choose War. On Thursday, September 22nd, the Central Library has two events. The first will be at 10:30 in the morning with the book group Thursday Morning with Friends. They will feature the book This Side of Paradise by F. Scott Fitzgerald. The next event will be a Spanish language conversation group. That one's at 7 p.m. For more information, call 703-228-5996 or email ikauf@arlingtonva.us. Daniel.
And Craig, on Saturday,
Fridays?
September the 24th at 11:15 a.m., the Central Branch will have an Arabic conversation class followed by the Saturday Stock Talks discussion. For more information on Arlington Public Library events, visit library.arlingtonva.us. And on Tuesday, September the 20th at 7 p.m., HB Woodlawn is hosting their secondary Back to School Night. On Wednesday, September the 21st, that is, at 7 p.m., various elementary schools will be hosting a Back to School Night program. Please check with your school for specific details. And on Thursday, September the 22nd, for those interested in going to or watching, the Arlington School Board will be meeting at the Education Center at 7:30 p.m. They will be discussing the APS 2011 to 2017 strategic plan. And on Monday, September the 26th at 7 p.m., a number of high schools will be hosting Back to School Night programs. Please check with your school for specific details. And on Tuesday, September the 27th at 7 p.m., a number of middle schools will be hosting Back to School Night programs. Please check with your school for specific details. For more information on Arlington Public Schools events, visit apsva.us. Craig.
All right, we'll be back with some information on volunteers now, right after we hear from our friend Nort Beckerman and his Brain Healthy Minute.
I'm Nort Beckerman, the Brain Health Coach. Did you know that stress is constantly with you? That most people have a stress level that the brain considers acceptable. When stress exceeds your brain's acceptable stress level, it responds to it as an attack. Your fight or flight response takes over. Your brain releases adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline is out front, calling into action those parts of your system that are needed to combat the attacker. Cortisol is your supply line, providing increased blood and energy where it's needed. System focus on the stress attacker becomes a priority. Those parts of the system that aren't needed for survival are turned way down. When the stressor is defeated and stress returns to acceptable levels, your brain reduces adrenaline and cortisol levels back to normal. When your stress levels are continuously outside of your acceptable range, your fight or flight response stays on. You ultimately deplete your adrenaline supply and increased cortisol levels remain. This disrupts all of your body's processes. It can destroy brain tissue, increase inflammation, and send cognitive functioning spiraling downward. Get rid of long-term stress. It's a brain killer. I'm Nort Beckerman, the Brain Health Coach. I'll see you next time for a Brain Healthy Minute.
All right, thanks, Nort, for his Brain Healthy Minute. Stay tuned. There's more coming from Nort on the Brain Healthy Minute segments.